TV News, March 8, 2011, 9 p.m.
Good evening. The popular uprising which affected the eastern Ukraine at the beginning of the week has stepped up and is gradually spreading to the rest of the country. Martial law has been decreed, but the army is overstretched and, for the moment, totally incapable of coping with the situation. Now, live from Permavsk, our reporter Amanda Summer. Amanda?
Yes, Steve, exactly. Vladimir Karpov, the leader of the revolutionary movement, expressed himself today in a press release which asks the people, and I quote, to come over to his cause, which is to free the Ukraine from the yoke of the tyrant Vladko. His militias are already cracking down extremely violently on the Ukrainians who refuse to join the movement. For his part, the Ukrainian president, Ivan Vladko, gave a short televised speech from the presidential palace in Kiev. In the course of this speech, he reaffirmed that he was innocent of the accusations that are being made against him and which started the crisis. Political analysts are wondering just how much longer President Vladko will manage to resist the pressure being put upon him by revolutionaries.
Hello, General. As you've seen, the Ukraine is being laid waste. The ICP must intervene. The Ukrainian populations need us. So ICP troops are going to be sent in, and we're entrusting their command to you, General. I know that you're familiar with the ICP's role. All the same, I'd like to remind you that we're going over there not only to make war, but also to restore peace. So yours is a double mission. You must come to the aid of civilian populations in distress and intervene to confront Karpov's rebel troops. You should know that the media, and hence the public, will follow our actions very attentively. The ICP is duty-bound to be beyond reproach, both in its aid missions for civilian populations and in its military interventions. The ICP's reputation depends on it. But follow me into the staff room. I'll explain to you in detail the operation we're going to mount. Hello, General. Your first operation will take place in the Ukraine. Karpov's troops are holding the region. Their mobile anti-aircraft batteries prevent us from coming in by air. Your job is to make the zone secure, preparing it for a forthcoming armed intervention. Now it's up to you and your boys to track down those batteries and knock them out.
Just one point to make about the humanitarian situation, General. Our services have located whole columns of civilian refugees. They're all the Ukrainians who are opposed to the revolutionary movement. Karpov and his militia have invited them by force to move out. It's vital for the media to cover the Ukrainian crisis. That's why you must pacify the zone. We hope that this media presence on the ground will help limit the rebels' abuses of power.
General, your enemies will be posted on the heights, giving them a not inconsiderable advantage. So you too should try and take full advantage of the hilly terrain. We're counting on you.
Fight away the enemy! Retreat! Go! Mission accomplished. Destination reached. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Retreat is going! Destination reached. Of course. Destination reached. Go! Destination reached. Go! Okay. Destination reached. Yes, sir. Destination reached. Destination reached. In formation. Okay. Yes, sir. Let's get going!
Unit lost.
Yes, sir! Mission accomplished. Yes, sir. Destination reached. Let's get going! Go! Destination reached. Yes, sir. Destination reached. Okay.
Unit lost.
Wounded soldiers are abandoned to their fate.
Go! Destination reached. Of course. Destination reached. Okay. Let's get going. Okay. Of course. Yes, sir.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Good work, General. You've made the zone secure. We've got a better view around the village of Permabase now.
Hello, sir. We intervened because of a media complaint. As you're aware, their teams cover the Permovaisk operation. Unfortunately, they couldn't broadcast their reports because their communication satellites had been hacked into. I don't need to remind you that the ICP really needs this media coverage to keep Karpov under pressure.
Our services have confirmed that Karpov's rebels were behind the hacking. Their jamming equipment's concealed in one of their communication centers. You must locate and destroy this equipment.
The ICP will supply you with everything that's needed to build a base. First, construct generators, a camp, and a vehicle factory. Then, set up a force that's capable of destroying the target. You should also make the most of this opportunity by creating a refugee camp and saving civilians from the neighboring town. Here's wishing you good luck, General. Available arsenal improved. Building activated.
Go! Destination formation. Of course.
Available arsenal improved.
Okay. Go! Destination reached. Okay. Destination reached. Go!
Available arsenal improved.
Okay. Destination reached.
Available arsenal improved.
Of course.
Building completed.
Destination reached. Yes, sir.
Building completed.
Go! Destination reached. Of course. Of course.
Building completed.
Go! Destination reached. Information.
Building activated. Available arsenal improved.
Enemies attacking. Destination reached.
Building activated. lost.
Yes, sir. It's as good as done. Get going. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Information accomplished. Retreat attacked. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Destination reached. Go! Destination reached.
Building completed.
Of course. Destination reached.
Building completed.
Impossible. Of course. Okay. Destination reached.
Building completed. Building completed.
Let's get going! Destination reached. Of course. Retreat!
Building completed.
Information. Okay. Destination reached.
Insufficient funds.
Go! Destination reached. Of course. Destination reached. Go! Destination reached. Yes, sir.
Building completed.
Destination reached. Yes, sir. Destination reached. Okay. Destination reached.
Building completed. Building completed. Building completed. Building activated.
Of course. Destination reached. Let's get going! Information. Destination reached. Let's get going! Let's get going! Destination reached.
Some civilians have been killed.
Unit lost.
Okay, let's get going! Go! Information. Destination reached. Let's get going! Destination reached.
Unit lost.
Let's get going! Enemy's attacking! Okay, destination reached. Yes, sir! Mission accomplished.
Civilians are arriving to take shelter in the refugee camps.
Mission accomplished. Destination reached. Yes, sir! It's as good as done.
Mission accomplished. Your mission was successful, General. Thanks to your intervention, the Ukrainian crisis is sure to get media coverage again. Karpov knows that throughout the world, the media are following his men's slightest acts and moves. Hello, General. Unfortunately, I'm not the bearer of good tidings. The situation in the Ukraine's got worse, and the rebels' abuses have pushed thousands of civilians out onto the roads. The humanitarian situation's extremely worrying. The ICP must help the civilians. By joining with the NGOs on the spot, you must build a refugee camp, gather the civilians together there, and ensure their protection. Take care.
A quick word. Your troops are in for a serious skirmish with the rebels, and they're said to have Russian equipment. Whatever happens, you won't get a minute's respite. Your men are going to have to open fire, probably near civilians. So let's get one thing straight, General. I don't want to hear any talk of collateral damage.
Okay. Destination reached. Of course. Destination reached. Okay. Yes, sir. Destination reached. Okay. Of course. Destination reached. Information.
Building activated. Available arsenal improved.
Retreat! Right away! Mission accomplished. Right away! Okay. Destination reached.
Available arsenal improved.
Of course. Destination reached. Let's get going!
Building completed.
Of course.
Available arsenal improved.
Let's get going! Destination reached. Go! Of course. Destination reached. Destination reached. Go! Destination reached. Of course. Go! Destination reached. Civilians in sight. Destination reached. Yes, sir. Of course. Let's get going! Of course. Yes, sir. Mission accomplished. Destination reached. Let's get
Civilians
going.
are arriving to take shelter in the refugee camps.
Go!
Building
Destination
completed.
reached. Let's get going! Destination reached. Yes, sir. Information. Destination reached.
Building
Yes, sir.
completed.
Destination Let's get going! Of course. Retreat is attacking! Retreat!
Building completed.
Enemies attacking! We're engaging the enemy!
Unit lost.
It's as good as done! Of course! Yes, sir! Go! Yes, sir!
Insufficient fund.
Mission accomplished!
Building completed.
Destination enemies attacking! Okay, sir! Mission accomplished! Let's get going! Yes,
Building
sir!
completed.
Okay. Destination going? Yes, sir. Of course.
Building completed.
Go! Of course. It's a yes, sir. Go!
Building completed.
Destination reached. Let's get going. Okay. Destination reached.
Civilians picked up.
Let's get going. Of course. Destination reached. Go! Destination reached. Of course. Go! Destination reached.
Unit lost.
Our base is being attacked.
Civilians picked up.
Building completed. Unit lost. Insufficient
Building
funds. Completed.
Retreat!
Building completed.
Retreat!
Unit lost. Building completed. Building completed. Building completed. Unit lost. Building completed. Unit lost. Building completed. Building activated.
Of course. In formation.
Insufficient funds. Building completed.
Mission accomplished.
Civilians are arriving to take shelter in the
completed.
refugee camps.
Yes, sir.
Building completed.
Destination reached.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir.
Building completed.
Destination reached.
Building completed. Building completed.
Okay. Destination reached.
Building completed. Building activated.
Let's get going.
Building completed.
Of course. Destination reached. In formation.
Unit lost.
Of course. Yes, sir. Okay.
Building completed.
Destination reached. Yes, sir. Let's get going. Accomplished. Yes, sir. Destination reached.
Building completed.
Destination reached. Yes, sir.
Building completed.
Go! Okay. Right away.
Unit
Going.
lost.
Done. Go! Of course.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Go! Destination
Building
reached.
completed.
Yes, sir. Destination reached. Let's get going. Destination reached. Yes, sir. Destination reached. Let's get going. Destination reached. Yes, sir. Information. Destination reached.
Building completed.
Yes, sir. Destination reached.
Building completed.
Yes, sir. Destination reached. Destination reached. Of course.
Building completed.
Destination reached. Go! Let's get going! Okay.
Building completed.
Destination reached.
Unit lost.
Information.
Unit lost. Building completed. Unit lost.
Right away! Mission accomplished. Get going! It's as good as done.
Unit lost.
Mission accomplished. We're being attacked. Yes, let's get going. Okay.
Insufficient funds. Unit lost. Building completed. Unit treated. Building completed. Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Destination reached. Destination reached. Information.
Building completed.
Let's get going! Destination reached.
Building completed. Building completed. Insufficient funds. Building completed. Building completed.
Go! Okay. Destination reached. Yes, sir. Let's get
Building
going.
completed.
Let's get going. Destination reached. Let's get going. Destination reached. Okay. Destination reached. Okay. Destination reached. Go! Destination reached. Okay. Information. Go! Destination reached. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. Destination reached. Civilians in sight. Okay. Destination reached. Let's get going. Destination reached. Go! Let's get going. Let's get going.
Unit lost.
Okay, mission accomplished.
Civilians are arriving to take shelter in the refugee
Retreat.
camps.
Okay. Of course. Retreat. Destination reached.
Insufficient funds.
Information.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Destination reached. Okay.
Unit lost. Building completed.
Okay. Destination reached. Let's get going. Destination reached. Let's get going. Destination reached.
Building completed. Building completed. Insufficient funds. Building activated. Building completed.
Information.
Building completed.
Okay.
Building completed.
Destination reached.
Insufficient funds. Building completed.
Go! Destination reached.
Building completed.
Of course. Destination reached.
Building completed.
Information. Go! Yes, sir. Destination reached.
Insufficient funds. Insufficient funds. Building completed.
Go!
Building completed. Building activated. Building completed.
Okay, go! Let's get going! Destination reached. Enemies attacking! Yes, sir! Let's get going! Yes, sir! Okay. Civilians in sight. Destination reached. It's as good as accomplished. Go! Destination reached. Let's get going! Destination reached. Go! Okay. Go!
Insufficient funds. "20 civilians have been taken to our refugee camp. First objective accomplished."
General, you've got the civilian
Civilians are
situation
arriving
well
to
in
take
hand.
shelter in the refugee
Let's move on to
camp.
the second objective.
Building completed.
Yes, sir.
Building completed.
Let's get going.
Building completed.
Destination reached. Of course. Destination reached.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Go! Enemies attacking. Yes, mission accomplished.
Unit lost.
Mission accomplished. It's as good as done.
Unit lost.
Retreat! Get going! Go! Of course. Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. We're engaging the enemy. Go! Go! Yes, let's get going! Go! Yes, sir.
Insufficient funds.
Okay. Information. Mission accomplished. Reached.
Civilians are arriving to take shelter
Building
in the
completed.
refugee
Insufficient
camps.
funds. Building completed.
Go!
Building completed.
Destination reached.
Building completed. Insufficient funds.
Go!
Building completed.
Destination reached.
Building completed.
Information.
Building completed.
Retreat.
Building completed.
Okay, go!
Insufficient funds. Building completed. Building completed. Building completed.
Information.
Building completed.
Of course. Destination reached. Go!
Building completed.
Let's get going! Destination reached.
Building completed.
Yes, sir.
Building completed.
Let's get going!
Building completed. Building completed.
Go!
Unit lost.
Of course.
Building
Let's
completed.
right away! Yes, sir. Destination reached.
Unit lost.
Go! Of course.
Civilians
Go
are being
right
targeted.
away, sir.
Unit lost.
Let's get going!
Unit lost.
Retreat!
Unit lost. Unit lost.
It's as good as done.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Destination reached. Go! Destination information.
Building completed.
Yes, sir. Of course.
Building completed.
Mission accomplished. Civilians in sight. Of course. Destination reached. Of course. Destination reached.
Building completed.
Of course.
Construction called off. Funds.
Mission accomplished.
Insufficient funds.
Civilians are arriving to take shelter in the refugee camps.
Building completed. Building completed.
Yes, sir. Destination reached.
Building completed.
Yes,
Unit
sir.
lost.
Mission accomplished.
Building completed.
Okay. Destination reached. Information.
Building completed. Building completed.
Yes, sir.
Building completed.
Of course.
Building completed.
Destination reached. Go! Of course. Destination reached.
Civilians picked up.
Yes, sir. Destination reached. Let's get going!
Building
Okay.
completed.
Destination reached. Of course. Go! Let's get going! Of course. We're being attacked. Let's get going! Destination reached. Yes, sir.
Insufficient funds.
Mission accomplished. Go! Okay.
Civilians are arriving to take shelter in the
Insufficient
refugee
funds.
camps.
Destination reached.
Building completed.
Okay.
Building completed.
Destination reached.
Building completed.
Go!
Building completed.
Yes, sir. Go! Let's get going!
Civilians picked up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Destination reached.
Building
Of
completed.
Of course. Destination reached. Okay. Go! Accomplished. Yes, sir. Reached.
Civilians are arriving to take shelter in the refugee
Building
camps.
completed.
Go!
Building completed.
Okay. Destination reached.
Building completed.
Yes, sir. Destination reached. Of course. Let's get going! Go! Information. Destination reached. Let's get going! Destination reached.
Building completed.
We're engaging the
lost.
enemy.
Unit lost.
We're engaging the enemy. Mission accomplished.
Building completed.
Let's get going! Destination reached. Go! Okay. Information. Okay. Let's get going! Yes, sir. Let's get going! Go!
Insufficient funds.
Of course.
Building completed.
Of course. Yes, sir. Let's get going! We're engaging the enemy.
Unit lost.
Retreat! Yes, sir. We're being attacked.
Unit lost.
Retreat! Okay.
Unit
Yes,
lost.
of course. Sir!
Building completed. Unit lost.
Retreat! Mission accomplished. Let's get going! Yes, sir. Go! Yes, sir. Let's get going!
Unit completed. Unit lost.
Of course. Yes, sir. Mission accomplished.
Building completed. Building completed.
Of course. Retreat! Yes, mission accomplished.
Mission
Mission
accomplished.
accomplished.
We've got a problem, General. Commander Hooper and his men have been ambushed. We've located the place.